Kohinoor diamond, Persian meaning mountain of light, is a diamond that was originally installed as left eye of goddess Bhadrakali in town of Warangal, India. Kohinoor was originally mined from world famous diamond mine Kollur mine in the Guntur district, Andhra Pradesh, India. Kakatiya rulers who ruled most of the Telugu speaking lands covered by current day Telangana and Andhra Pradesh states in India between 1083 CE to 1323 CE with Orugullu as its capital possessed this diamond. King Puligeshi II of Chalukya dynasty around 625 AD to commemorate his victory over Vengaru region of Andhra Desham constructed goddess Bhadrakali temple, and later Kakatiyas kept this as left eye of their idol when they adopted her as their Kula Devada, giving her preference over other gods. Curse on Kohinoor diamond. When the Tughlaq dynasty replaced the Khilji dynasty in 1320 AD, Gilgit al-Din Tughlaq sent his commander Ulugh Khan in 1323 AD to defeat the Kakatiya king Prataparudra. Ulugh Khan's raid was repulsed, but he returned in a month with a larger and determined army. The unprepared army of Kakatiya was defeated this time, and the diamond was seized by the champion army of Delhi Sultanate. It was then owned by Tughlaq dynasty and Lodi dynasty, and finally came into the possession of Babur himself in 1526. He called the stone the Diamond of Babur at the time, although it has been called by other names before he seized it from Ibrahim Lodi. Both Babur and Humayun mention in their memories the origin of the Diamond of Babur. The last of the Tomaras, Man Singh Tomar, negotiated peace with Sikandar Lodi, Sultan of Delhi, and became a vassal of the Delhi Sultanate. A 1757 miniature of Emir Ahmad Shah Durrani, in which the Kohinoor diamond is seen hanging on the front of his crown above his forehead. Humayun had much bad luck throughout his life. Sher Shah Suri, who defeated Humayun, died in the flames of a burst cannon. Humayun's son Akbar never kept the diamond with him, and later only Shah Jahan took it out of his treasury. Akbar's grandson Shah Jahan was overthrown by his own son Aurangzeb. Shah Jahan, famous for building the Taj Mahal in Agra, had the stone placed into his ornate peacock throne. His son Aurangzeb embraced his ailing father at the nearby Agra fort. While in the possessions of Aurangzeb, it was cut by Hortendro Borsia, a Vietnam lapidary, who was so clumsy that he reduced the weight of the stone to 186 carats, while the original diamond was 793 carats. Legend has it that he had the Kohinoor positioned near a window so that Shah Jahan could see the Taj Mahal only by looking at its reflection in the stone. Aurangzeb later brought it to his capital Lahore and placed it in his own personal Badashahi mosque. There it stayed until the invasion of Nadir Shah of Iran in 1739 and the sacking of Agra and Delhi. Along with the peacock throne, he also carried off the Kohinoor to Persia in 1739. It was finally Nadir Shah who exclaimed Kohinoor when he finally managed to obtain the famous stone, and this is how the stone gained its present name. There is no reference to this name before 1739. The valuation of Kohinoor is given in the legend that one of Nadir Shah's consorts supposedly said, if a strong man should take 5 stones and throw one north, one south, one east and one west, and the last straight up into the air, and the space between filled with gold and gems, that would equal the value of Kohinoor. After the assassination of Nadir Shah in 1747, the stone came into the hands of its general Ahmad Shah Durrani of Afghanistan. In 1830, Shujaat Durrani, the deposed ruler of Afghanistan, managed to flee with the diamond. He went to Lahore, where Ranjit Singh forced him to surrender. Ranjit Singh was crowned ruler of the Punjab region in 1829 on his deathbed. According to custom in India, Ranjit Singh wished to donate the diamond to a temple. He wanted to donate it to Lord Jagannatha of the Puri temple in Odisha. However, after his death in 1839, the British administrators did not execute his will. On 29th March 1849, the British raised a flag on the citadel of Lahore, and the Punjab was formally proclaimed part of the British Empire in India. One of the terms of the Treaty of Lahore, the legal agreement formalizing this occupation, was as follows. The gem called Kohinoor, which was surrendered by Shah Shuja ul Mulk to Maharaja Ranjit Singh and then surrendered by the Maharaja of Lahore to the Queen of England. The Governor General in charge of the ratification for this treaty was Lord Dalhousie, and he arranged that the diamond be presented by Maharaja Ranjit Singh's young successor Duleep Singh to Queen Victoria in 1850. Duleep Singh was the youngest son of Ranjit Singh and his fifth wife Maharani Jind Kaur. Duleep, aged 13, travelled to the United Kingdom to present the jewel. The presentation of the Kohinoor diamond and the Timur ruby to Queen Victoria was the latest in the long history of transfers of the stones as a spoil of war. Entire history of Kohinoor suggests that whichever king possessed it died soon. A test from the time of Kohinoor's first authenticated appearance in 1306 states that the stone carries a curse lethal to male owners. It should read, "Only God or a woman can wear it with impunity." All male kings who owned it died sooner than normal. After goddess Bhadragali, each was British queen who possessed each for longer time without any major harm. Though British Empire started declining from 1857 AD, 7 years after the diamond was vended to England. Fearing the curse, the present queens avoid wearing the Kohinoor diamond and instead wears the imperial state crown. But still, the British wishes to keep this diamond in their collection even after losing multiple countries and colonies from their rule. Is Kohinoor part of Samandagamani? Samandagamani is mentioned in Vishnu Purana and Bhagavatam. Satyajit got this as a gift from sun god and it was said to produce gold equal to 8 baras, means 170 pounds every day. Lord Krishna asked Satyajit to present Samandagamani to him but got rejected. Satyajit later presented it to Parsan, his brother, who was also the ruler of Yadava province. Parsan wore it often, until once while hunting in the forest while wearing it, he was attacked by a lion, which killed him and fled with the jewel. But it could not get away with it, for shortly after, it was attacked by Jambavanta, who killed it after a fierce fight and took off the diamond. When Satyajit blamed Krishna for murder and theft, he left out to prove his innocence. As he followed on the trail of the deceased person, he came to the spot where the corpus of the person and his whole tail lay, along with pieces of teeth and nails of a lion. From there, he followed the footsteps of the lion, which led him to the spot of the second struggle where the corpus of the lion was lying. From there, he followed the traces of a bear, which finally led him to the entrance of Jambavan's cave, where the latest children was playing with the priceless jewel. Thereafter, he engaged in furious, protracted combat with Jambavanta for 28 days, and Jambavan gradually grew tired. As he was the strongest living entity at that time, he wondered who could be weakening him. It was then that Jambavanta realized that he had been sparring with none other than Lord Krishna. Jambavanta, who was hot-headed but poised by nature, returned the jewel to Krishna, who later married Jambavati, Jambavan's daughter. Later, Krishna narrated entire story of the Samandaga jewel's recovery, gave the jewel back to Satyajit. For this, Satyajit gave his daughter Satyabhama along with Samandagamani to Krishna. After a few days, Krishna and Balarama were off to Hastinapura after there were rumors that the Pandavas has been burned to their deaths in a fire. Kridavarma, Akrura and Sadhudanva, who had their eyes on the dazzling jewel, conspired to make use of Krishna's absence from Dwaraga as an opportunity. Satyadhanva one night entered the house of Satyajit and killed him in his sleep, making off with the jewel. A sorrowful Satyabhama rushed to Hastinapura to inform Krishna about the ghastly death of her father. Krishna and Balarama immediately started for Dwaraga to avenge Satyajit's death, hearing of which Satyajit fled on his horse, keeping the jewel with Akrura. He was chased down by Krishna and Balarama and finally killed by Krishna near Mithila. Later, Krishna returned to Dwaraga and upon realizing that Akrura has already fled to Kashi with the Samandaga jewel, summoned him up and asked him to admit his guilt. When Akrura compiled, Krishna let him keep it on the condition that it was to remain in the city of Dwaraga. After a few years, Arjuna came to Dwaraga disguised as a saint and married Krishna's sister Subhadra. During this wedding, Satyabhama gifted Samandagamani to Subhadra. Gold extracted from the Samandagamani was used by Yudhishthira to perform Rajasuya Yajna, but it also brought troubles for Pandavas as they lost entire kingdom in dice games to Kauravas and left for forced exile. Pandavas Purohit Dharmya advised that Samandagamani is the reason for destruction and troubles of whoever owned it and asked them to get rid of it. Arjuna tied Samantagamani to an arrow and hit the ground so hard that it pierced the earth and disappeared inside. It is speculated that Kohinoor is part of Samantagamani that got buried in earth. Kohinoor does not match the superlative descriptions of the Samantagamani but matches the ill luck it brings to its owners. Kakatiyas, who unearthed it, lost their kingdom soon. Next it was owned by Alauddin Khilji, whose dynasty lost it to Babur. Mughals lost it to Nader Shah, who lost it to Ahmad Shah Durrani. His grandson lost it to Ranjit Singh, who died few years later. Kohinoor kept changing hands until it reached Queen Victoria in 1849. Within 8 years, Sipahi Mutiny happened against East India Company rule in India. Slowly, the British lost grip over all the countries they conquered, and within 100 years of Kohinoor possessions, they suffered major setbacks in World War II and many countries including India became independent.
For more creative contents, please like, share, comment and do subscribe the channel.